So what is political system? Political system are the formal and informal political process by which decisions are made concerning the use, production, and distribution of the resources in the given societies. It is a system of politics and government. Next is political organization. It is an organization that includes itself in political processes including political parties, government organization, and special interest advocacy group.
Four types of socio-political organization. So we have bands, tribes, chiefdoms, and state and nation. A band is usually a very small, oftentimes nomadic group that is connected by family ties and is typically independent with nomadic meaning. Lumilipat mula sa isang lugar patungo sa lugar, kadalasan sa paghahanap ng pagkain. Ang mga banda ay kadalasang binubuo ng mga mangangaso dahil sa kanilang maliit na sukat at ang kanilang pagkahilig sa palipat-lipat. Bands usually have little to no formal leadership. In other words, kung kailan lilipat at kung kailan mananatili ay karaniwang batay sa mga pinagkasunduan ng grupo sa halip na isang opisyal na namamahala ang tumatawag sa mga shop na may ganito. Bands are usually referred to as being egalitarian societies in which all persons are the same age and gender, are seen as equals. Now, notice this doesn't hindi ito nangangulugan na ang mga lalaki at mga babae ay palaging pantay-pantay. More means that men are equal to men and women are equal to women. So, state and nation. The state has four elements. We have population, territory, government, and sovereignty. In the absence of even one element, a state cannot be really a state. Why? Because a state is always characterized by all these four elements, and a state is a political unit that has sovereignty over a particular piece of land. Move to nation. So, nation is a group of people who have a strong sense of unity and common consciousness. And nation is a large group of people linked by a similar culture, language, and history.
Chiefdoms, a political unit headed by a chief who holds power over more than one community group. With more than one community involved, chiefdoms are usually more densely populated, also as the same name chief implies. Chiefdoms are not egalitarian, but instead of social rank with the chief and his family holding powers. Since chiefs are usually chosen by heredity, this usually gets his family and their inner circle the reins to power. In fact, many chiefdoms practice redistribution in which goods are accumulated by a one central person or power who then decide how to allocate them among the people. Tribe, a combination of smaller kin or non-kin groups linked by a common culture that usually act as one sort of multi-group and usually bigger than bands. Tribes tend to contain communities that are bit larger. Many social scientists assert that is because rather than just being hunter-gatherers, tribes often double in agriculture and herding, make it easier to support a larger yet still rather small population. However, similar to bands and very unlike the old cowboy movies that show a bunch of warriors surrounding a chief, most tribe have no formal leadership. Instead, two are egalitarian nature.
So, I'm tackling about the two types of rights that are enjoyed by individuals as a member of state. So, we have two types of rights. The first one is the natural rights. So, when we say natural rights, it refers to the rights that given to all human like us. And simply for the sake for being human. And these rights is universal moral principles among all cultures and societies. And these natural rights can't be reversed by the government laws. Sabihin, given na siya sa atin. Simula nung isinilang tayo, given na siya na meron tayong ganong rights. We have the natural rights. And for this reason, natural rights are often called inalienable rights, or when we say rights that cannot be taken away. Hindi mo talaga siya may aalis sa atin as a human being. Kasi given na siya eh. And natural rights are the basis of social contract in society. They would exist even if the government did not exist. So kahit walang government, meron na tayong rights nito. And we have some examples of natural rights. The first one is the right to preserve life. So as a human, we have the rights to stay alive, and no government can ever take that right away. So walang kahit na sinong makakaalis nun sa atin. These rights extend to the rights to defend yourself against people who cause you harm. Siyempre, as a person, kailangan marunong tayong magtanggol ng sarili natin, and that's the rights that given to us as a human. And most philosophers, also the philosophers, agrees that the right to life is the most fundamental natural rights. So the second one is the natural right to liberty. So when we say the right to liberty, as a human, we have the rights to free life. Meron tayong kalayaan kung anong gusto nating gawin as a human. And as a person, we have a freedom of movement and freedom of thought. Mayroon tayong pansariling desisyon, yung mga sarili nating aksyon na ginagawa para din sa sarili natin. And the third one is the right to own property. So every person has the right to own property, either by themselves or ourselves or with other people. So one's ability to own property reflected their ability to participate in society. So bawat isa sa atin, meron tayong kanya-kanyang pag-aari, and yung pag-aari natin na yun is atin talaga. Tayo yung magdedesisyon kung anong gusto natin gawin dun sa property na yun. Kasi we have the right to own the property. Kasi sa atin yun. And the fourth one is the right to make living. So as a human, given na we have a right to make a living. So humans have the right to earn money in order to make a living. Siyempre, yun yung unang-una o yung pinaka-importanteng dapat natin gawin as a human. We have to earn money to make a living. Kasi given na yun, or parang isa na siya sa pinaka necessary as a human, lalo na dito sa society natin. And the fifth one is the right to have a family. So connected to dun sa we have the right to make a living. So when we have the right to make a living, we need to earn money, lalo na kung we have a family, because we have the right to have a family. All people have the right to marry and to have a family. They may also have children without the consent of the government or state. So, pwede tayong makabuo ng isang buong pamilya, and isa yun sa rights natin as a human. And the last one is the right to practice religion. Everyone has the right to form and practice a relationship with the religion of their choice. So, kung ano yung pinaniniwalaan natin, we have the rights to choose what religion we want. And hindi naman yun ipagkakait, kasi nga, ano na siya, parang given na yun as given rights na yun sa atin. Na kung ano yung pinaniniwalaan natin, yun yung pipiliin natin. And the second rights is the legal rights. So when we say legal rights, these are the rights that are accorded according to the ethics or moral code. And these rights is iba siya dun sa natural rights. Kasi dito, it is given by the government, yung legal rights. So, yung mga government, nagbibigay sila ng laws, and yung laws na yon, if hindi mo siya magagawa, you need to have a punishment and penalties for that violation. And the examples of the legal rights are the right to vote, right to privacy, and right to join formal organization. So it is differ from person to person depending on their age, nationality, and country.
Authority is the power of an individual, a group, or organization over other people. Having authority means you have the right to make rules and laws that other people are obliged to follow. In short, authority is the power to make legal decisions and execute them. Government officials are the best example of authority. In political science, legitimacy is the acceptance of an authority. An authority that is considered legitimate has the right to exercise power. For example, in communism, legitimacy is derived from having won a civil war, a revolution, or winning an election. Communist governments are legitimate and are authorized by the people. Rational legal authority is legitimate because laws, rules, norms, and procedures are respected and obeyed. Rational legal authority is rarely challenged. People obey rational legal authority because of the law instead of beliefs, charisma, or tradition. An example of rational legal authority is an official that is elected by voters.
Traditional legitimacy. This legitimacy is where the authority or the title was being passed on their blood relative. If this legitimacy was used, wala na magagawa pa ang mga tao kundi tanggapin na lang ang bago magiging pinuno nila kahit na wala pa itong kapabilidad. Dahil nga ayon sa traditional legitimacy, may ipasa ang kapangyarihan sa kadugo nito. Charismatic legitimacy. This legitimacy is where the leader was being chosen of the people that who have an attachment on him or her. Sa leadership na ito, ang pinuno ay pinili ng mga tao dahil meron silang connection sa isa't isa, mapakaibigan man o iba pang connection na meron. Hindi na isinaalang-alang kung may kapabilidad ba ang magiging pinuno nila dahil ang mahalaga sa kanila, inilagay nila ang taong ito sa posisyon dahil meron silang connection sa isa't isa. The first was institutional charisma. This authority was composed of charismatic and legal authority. It is more observed at religious institutions. The leader was accepted because of his charisma and his power was limited. Kagaya na lamang ni Pope Francis, siya ngayon ang kasalukuyang Pope sa ibang bansa, ngunit kilala din naman siya dito sa Pilipinas. Siya ang napili na pinuno dahil maraming mga tao ang palagay ang loob sa kanya. May kakayahan din naman siya mamuno, pero limitado lamang. The next one was familial charisma. This is composed of traditional legitimacy and charismatic legitimacy. It is more on kingship system. Back way where there were queens and kings, but nowadays there are also king and queen. And I believe everybody knows Queen Elizabeth, a queen from, if I'm not mistaken, she's from England. I'm not sure yet, but familial charisma, like what I said, it is combined of charismatic and traditional legitimacy. The leader was chosen because of his inheritance, because he is related to the former leader, and because of his charisma, because of people chose him. Gaya na lamang halimbawa nito sa mga libro kung saan may mga monarchy, kung saan may dalawang prinsipe na nag-aagawan sa trono. Yung dalawang prinsipe na yon, pareha silang may kaugnayan sa hari. Then, they have to gain supporters. At yung mga supporters na yun, nag-support sila dahil alam nila yung kapabilidad ng bawat isa.